Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's been a really long time since I've posted anything, that I've done anything, that I've read on anything, that I've done anything tarot related. But I had to come on today because I was thinking about something, and it was really, really funny. While I was watching Libby, Meister Tarot, she's very, very good. She's one of my favorite readers, actually. She's very, very good, very talented reader. Just a great lady from Australia, just really awesome. So highly recommend her channel. She's very, very good. If you're into political readings and stuff, she does like 3 a day or something. Like on the weekdays, she does like three readings. And she really goes into the muck, and I mean, she really is very good at doing that. Not something I would really want to do, and I'm not going to do. But today she mentioned someone, and I will not say his name, but I will say he used to be a mayor of New York City, and he's one of uh, the Orange Menace's allies. I mean, one of his, strongest allies. Well, he's in the hospital now, and he's not doing too well. But one of the things that happened to me when I was when I was listening to her was an image flashed through my mind of a former not a former, but of a villain from an old cartoon from the 1970s, and I don't know if you remember it. The cartoon was called Underdog, and I watched this religiously as a child. I mean, this shows how old I am, but I watched this cartoon religiously. I loved Underdog. He was such a bumbling hero, and they did a movie, but I'm thinking in terms of the character from the cartoon. Okay? So when she mentioned his name, the former mayor of New York City, and I think you know who I'm referring to, the image that flashed into my mind was this. The character's name is Simon Bar Sinister, and he was the bad guy in the Underdog cartoons. And I don't know why I hadn't thought about Underdog in like very long time because I watch cartoons, but I don't watch a lot of cartoons. I watch like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and all that. But but why is it that suddenly this image just out of nowhere just popped into my head? So I thought that I would do, and I guess the new nickname for this individual is now going to be Simon Bar Sinister because I can't think of any other person that's so applicable. But it does look like him. It does look like him. It makes me think of him when I see that goofy grin and that big head and those eyes and stuff. So I was just like, oh, this is really funny. So I want to do a very quick read. I'm not going to do a very long video today because I've got a lot of stuff to do today, and I don't have time to sit here and play forever on the internet. So I'm going to just do a quick read on Simon Bar Sinister, aka former mayor of New York, and or New York City, and see what I can get. um, how is he doing? What's the haps with him? I mean, I'm very, very, I don't think he's got long to left. I mean, I just get the feeling that he doesn't have long left. But let's see what the cards tell me, and we'll see what the guides have to say with regards to him. I'm not asking if he's going to um, fall off the twig, as Libby puts it, but I am going to ask, how's he doing? What can the cards tell me about his state right now? Three of Swords. This is heartbreak, defeat. Some people call it the treason card. Some people, but this ain't a good card, and it's about cardiovascular. Also, people say it's about cardiovascular issues with the heart. So this is a card. This is a card. Doesn't say much. Um, crossed by the Page of Cups, which is, I think, kind of the opposite of what he actually represents. So this is maybe the past or the youthful vitality that he had back in the day when he was popular, when people loved him. People, he was around during 9/11 when all that stuff happened there, and people loved him, and revered him and they thought, oh, he's so great, and all this because he was America's mayor. That's what they had dubbed him as. So this is like, I think this is sort of a nostalgia, sort of that nostalgia of how things were and how things devolved. The underarching energy is the Two of Swords. Now, I think this is about the choice of how people want to view him and what his legacy really is going to be because the Two of Swords is about choice. I mean, this is about which side are you going to be on? What is history going to say about this person when they are no longer with us? How are the history books going to refer to this person? Are they going to revere him as America's mayor or are they going to revere him as a turncoat? Because as you recall, this card also means treason. In the immediate past, we have the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is about that sense of that sense of family. So, is his family going to rally around him? I think most families do, regardless of how atrocious or not so nice these people are. The family is always going to be there, or in most cases, the family will be there for people when they are near the end of their experiences here on planet Earth. So it's just the immediate past, the family sort of coalescing around him. Maybe this is a positive card for him. I'm not really sure, but I think that that is about the family coalescing. The overarching energy is the Ten of Cups. This is everybody else. And I hate to say this because, you know, the most evil people, um, when they are no longer with us, that tends to bring all the other people together, the ones who have been wronged by him, the ones who have been put into really negative positions by him, they are now feeling that release. And I want to go into that idea of release because I've been feeling it for the last couple of days. There's just been that really intense sense of release that's been going on. And I'm like going, what is going on? What is happening here? But I can't really explain it. I mean, I'll just wait a couple of days. Maybe I'll do a video on it in the future, but that's what this is. I think this is the release that people are saying, okay, we can let this go now. We can move on with our lives and we can, we're releasing ourselves from it. In the immediate future, you have the Lover's card. I think this is all the other people who have coalesced around him, who are, you know, doing the evil deeds and what have you that he did, and those people, his allies, that are coming together. So it's the contrast, I think, that's happening. I think that there's something going on that these people are all coming together and they're sort of contrasting his um, his real legacy. What is his real legacy going to be in relation to this? This goes back to the Two of Swords, where you're going, okay, is his legacy going to be what he did after 9/11, or is his legacy going to be what he did in the last 2 or 3 years? Um, internally, you have the Five of Wands, which is that conflict. That is the fighting, and I think that is not just the fighting of his allies, but it's also the fighting of the people who he hurt. So there's a lot of that conflict going on. So it's internally there's the conflict and it's not going away. It's not going anywhere. That conflict is still there. So regardless of what happens to him, that conflict is still going to exist. There's still going to be that conflict between these people, whether they're within the movement or whether they're in other, you know, in other places. So you have that conflict that's kind of coming together, happening. Externally, you have the Hermit, and this is the you're going alone. And this is the light in all the darkness. And I think this is telling me that he doesn't have long left on this planet, that he is going to have to go this alone, that everybody eventually has to go it alone when they cross over. And I think that that's what this is. This is him actually coming to the realization that he's going to cross over and he's not going to have anybody that's going to stand by him while he does it. It's going to happen and he's going to be on his own when it does. Hopes and fears. is the Eight of Pentacles. This is the work that was done during his life. I think that this is turning into sort of a life review kind of thing. All of the things that he did in his life, whether they be positive or negative, and how when he was America's mayor, he was riding on top of the world, and he was, he was the kingpin, if you will, that everybody, people thought the world of him. They thought he was just an amazing guy, and everything was perfect, and everything was right in the world with him. And that is what that is what he wants to show. Is his legacy. He wants to show people that this is who he really was, and this is the kind of person that he really was. And my card is a little bit messed up here. I don't know how that happened. Oh well, that's from use. But at any rate, that's what I think this is. This is him, having to reevaluate his legacy, what his legacy is, and what it really, really means. Final outcome is the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups is to me, and there's a lot of fours in this. I mean, there's the Four of Wands and the Four of Cups are in this, but the Four of Cups is about being given something and ignoring it. That there's a gift that's coming your way, but you're ignoring it. And I don't know if this is necessarily about his passing, but it is about his ignoring the help that he could get from other people to save his reputation or to save his legacy, and he's refusing it. And I think that that's what's happened when he hitched his wagon to everything that's going on right now. That is what happened. He ignored the good that could have come out of it. I'm going to look at the base of the deck, and then I have to wrap up here. We got the Page of Wands, which is, this is the naivety that's manifest. I think the naivety that's manifest in him, that he thinks everybody's going to love him, everybody's going to revere him, and actually people don't like him. People are not happy with him. The Eight of Cups, this is walking away from what doesn't serve you, no longer serves, no longer is viable. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is, to me, the Three of Cups is him trying to show his legacy, what he's done, what he's accomplished, but still not being able to, because people are seeing him for who he really is. And so I think that this Three of Pentacles is about him trying like heck ski to show everybody what he is about and what he is, and it's just not working. And Strength card. And I think this is, I think this is his, I think that in essence, this is his, at one time he was strong, and now he's just showing how weak he is. And I mean, alcoholism does cause weakness. It is a sign of, weakness. I mean, my father was an alcoholic, and anytime I mentioned about it to him, he would get angry. And it was only until the very end, when he finally told me that he loved me and that he cared for me, that he knew that the end was near. And I think that this is what it is. But it took an extreme strong strength of character for him to come and admit or confess to me that he really did care about me and that I was important to him and I was valued by him. So I think that's what this is. I think that this Strength card is about this realization that he made a lot of mistakes and that he erred in so many ways, 20 ways till Sunday, if you will, that he made mistakes. So I think that that's what all this is about. I think that I don't know if he's actually realizing that he has made mistakes, but I think that in some ways, I think that he is trying to come to grips with his own mortality. And I think that all of these people that are involved with the Orange Menace's regime, that they're also trying to come to grips with what their legacy is going to be, because the Orange Menace will not last forever. He will not live forever. Nobody lives forever. And even if you try to freeze him in a block of ice, the soul is still going to find a way out. So this isn't, nothing lasts forever. And I think that that's what this is about. I think that this is the realization that he's having, that nothing lasts forever, and now he has besmirched his legacy for the sake of you know, I don't know. But, now I see him as Baron von uh, Simon von Sinister, and, yeah. What else can I say? So, that's all I got. I'm gotta go. I've got stuff to do. So, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and, sorry I've been so silent for the last few days or last few weeks because I've just not felt like doing anything. Um, this energy is shifting now again, and I'm back, but when will I come back to do another video? I have no idea. But it is what it is. So thank you for your patience and thank you for watching. Take care, and as always, namaste.